Hi, welcome to Cash with Ash. I'm Ash, your hyperfixated finance bestie, and today we're going to be talking about savings. So at this point, you should already know what the last few months of your spending looks like, have set a budget, are figuring out the type of budgeting that works for you, and learning how to actually stick to it. Next, I would personally think about a financial goal that I would want to implement, and I'd probably start with savings. There's a couple different types of savings accounts that are common within the financial freedom world. The first being an emergency fund. It's also called an FU fund or FU money. This is typically thought of in terms of months of your expenses. We would want to start with probably 1 month of expenses before moving on to anything else at the bare minimum. And the purpose of an emergency fund is, for example, your car breaks down or some crazy life event happens or you get laid off from your job, you have some money to pull from versus having to start putting things on credit cards because, like we mentioned in the last video, things can start to really spiral with all the interest rates and things if you're carrying balances on those. The other types of funds are also called sinking funds. So these are for more predictable expenses that you know you're going to be making, but you might be making them only once during the year. Some common ones here are things like a car fund. So if there are maintenance expenses or folks like to pay for their car insurance in full versus month to month, you can be saving monthly and then pull from that when you need to. Other common ones are also travel related, pet related. I personally also have a health related fund if I'm like going to the doctor and things of that sort. These are a lot more customizable, but they are going to be things that you are regularly pulling from, whereas your emergency fund is just going to be something for emergencies only. This next week, I'll go into more detail on emergency funds in particular and kind of how to think about those, how I have my sinking fund set up, and what you might want to do with yours. And then we'll go into high yield savings accounts as well, because in my honest opinion, I think all savings should be within a high yield savings account. It just makes more sense. You're really kind of losing out on some money there if you're not using a high yield savings account for your emergency fund and your sinking funds. Would love to hear any questions you might have around savings in the comments below. Happy to address anything.